How did the Oilers get their offense going again in game number 3? And if Darnell Nurse isn't fully healthy, who does Kris Knoblauch look to? Hey everyone, Rob Wong, joined alongside by Robert Tychkowski of the Edmonton Journal. And Rob, the chances have been there so far through 2 games of the Stanley Cup Final for the Oilers, but just one goal to show for it. We know how good the Panthers are defensively and how good their goaltending is with Sergei Bobrovsky, but what can the Oilers do to find more offense?
They just have to throw the puck at the net, and oftentimes the Oilers, they ran into this issue in previous series where they would kind of they would get a lot of zone time, and they it looked like they were getting a lot of opportunities, but they just weren't finishing. That's one aspect of it when things aren't going in the net for you. The other one was what we saw in game 2, was where you're just not getting a lot of chances, where you keep it to the outside and you're waiting for the perfect shot. You're trying to pass the puck into the net, and that's not how you score in the playoffs. In the playoffs, you hammer it at the net and you jam for the rebounds and you fight for that space and you kick in the 2-1 goal, right? Like the Ekholm's goal, he comes down the sidelines and he just comes down the wing and he just fires a shot, nothing special, and it goes in. That's what you have to do. You can't wait for the perfect opportunity. So, in game 1, they had a whole bunch of chances and some good looks, and they just couldn't bear down, and Bobrovsky made the big saves. And in game 2, they were just waiting for something perfect. You're never going to get that in the playoffs. You gotta it's 3rd and 1 around the net is the attitude you have to take in the playoffs. You just lower your head and push and try to jam something in, because the pretty goals aren't going to come.
Yeah, pretty surprising for a team that has had no issues scoring goals during these playoffs. In game number 2, Darnell Nurse, meanwhile, got banged up and was only able to play 4 minutes and 20 seconds. And as we record this, we don't know his status for game number 3. But if he is unable to suit up, Rob, what does Kris Knoblauch do on the back end to fill the void?
Well, the only body they have left is Cody Ceci, who was pulled out of game 2 because he didn't have a great game 1. So that isn't, the ideal option, but that's pretty much all they have up here. I think they might just go 11-7 anyway, because if Darnell Nurse is only able to play 4 minutes of a Stanley Cup Final game, it's something that's really bugging him. And then if they play him and only go with 6 defensemen, and they find out 4 or 5 minutes into the game that he's hurt again, they can't afford to play 55 minutes with 5 defensemen against Florida. So I have an inkling they might go in 11-7 unless he's made a remarkable recovery and it's guaranteed he's going to be able to go wire to wire. Then I think they might have to have that safety valve and playing 7 defensemen.
Lastly, we've seen teams come back from 2-0 series deficits in these playoffs, but how are you feeling about this specific series heading into game number 3?
Yeah, teams have come back, but it's Florida's a different animal. They're a powerhouse team. Like, you're not going to win. Well, I shouldn't say you're not going to. The Oilers have to win 4 out of 5 games against a team that they haven't beaten all season. So it does not look good. The math says there's only a 9% chance. In history, only 9% of the teams who are in this situation come back. Having said that, you win game 3 at home, suddenly, the series is 2-1, and you can look at yourself and say, we were the better team in 2 of the 3 games. They stole game 1. We won game 3. We can play with these guys. Let's even it up and make it a best of 3. So that's the mindset, and it's realistic. I don't know if it'll happen, but that's what they have to be thinking, and that's what they have to be shooting for.
Well, as you said, it only takes 1 win to change the odds. We'll see if the Oilers can do that on Thursday night. As always, leave your thoughts in the comments section below. For Rob Tychkowski, I'm Rob Wong. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.